my beautiful friends. It's Amanda here, and today we're doing a chill little get ready with me. It is springtime, despite the fact that it is already close to 90 degrees here. I feel like we kind of had 1 week of spring that was just windy with lots of pollen, and now it's hot. But today, in this video, we're just going to ignore that fact. I want to do a really fresh, glowy, little peachy coral type of makeup today. I'm not wear testing. I'm not trying a bunch of new stuff. Pretty sure I'm not using anything really new. And in fact, I'm digging into the archives for some of these items today. So let's zoom in, slap on some SPF, and just get a little peachy and a little sparkly. That's the mood that I'm feeling today. And if you're not in that mood, if you feel like being grungy or neutral, or if you want to look like a disco ball or a fairy, or you're going for goth, whatever it is, whatever the vibes are, even if it's a no makeup day for you, then that's fine. Slap on a face mask and let's have some snacks and just hang out together.
As usual, we're going to start with a close-up look at my face with no makeup. I just want to remind you that having imperfect, air quotes, skin is normal. People do not look like filters. You shouldn't try to look like a filter. It's never going to work. Everybody you see who looks like a filter, guess what? They're filtered. It's okay to be a human with crinkles and wrinkles and spots and specks and breakouts and scars and all that stuff. You are absolutely fine. Your face is wonderful and beautiful, and I love it so much. Please put sunscreen on it, even if it's cloudy, even if you're just going to be in the car. As long as there's enough sun for you to see, then there's enough sun for you to protect against. In my opinion, I am not a doctor. I'm just somebody who loves wearing SPF and who loves your face and wants you to be protected. So after I put my sunscreen on, I decided to do a little bit of liquid highlight first. I like to do this step when I want a really glowy skin look without having a very blatantly makeup-y look to it. I don't know if that makes sense. When I'm going for that lit from within glow, I like to do a little liquid highlighter first and then use a lighter coverage foundation on top. I feel like this just makes that glow look more natural to my skin. And then, of course, I'll go back and use some more glowy products on top too. But I really enjoy this more subtle glow effect, especially when it is really hot outside and I know that I might actually sweat a little bit. I don't want to be so casually sweaty before I start casually sweating, if you know what I mean. And I think that this Dior Forever Hydra Nude foundation works really well with this method because it does have a sheer glowy coverage. So it just melds in nicely with that liquid highlighter underneath. Next, I'm going to do a very light layer of concealer. This is the Best Case concealer from Salt, New York, and I always apply this with my fingertip. I feel like the balm texture of this concealer just activates with the natural body heat from my fingertip, and it just blends right into my skin. Again, it is giving me a little bit of coverage, but it's not so heavy or harsh that it really looks very quote unquote makeup-y. So I like the way that this concealer works with the lighter coverage of the Dior foundation. And I'm just going to hit a couple of other points on my face to introduce that concealer color elsewhere on the face. That does make it look more natural as well. Then for my cheek combo, like I said, I am going to add a little bit more glow. So I'm going back with the L'Oreal Lumi Le Glow after I apply just a little tiny bit of this Huda blush filter. I'm using the Peach Sorbet shade and I just put the smallest amount and really blended that out. I'm not layering up a bunch of blush because I know that I want to go more bold with both the eyes and the lips. So I'm letting the cheeks take a little bit of a back seat here. And I did apply 2 layers of this blush, but I'm using a super, super small amount, a thin amount, so that I can blend it a little bit out of a time and really just control not only the placement, but the intensity. And then I'm using a little bit of that highlighter, not too much, just a little swipe on the cheeks that I will tap out with my fingertip and just get all of those layers of makeup to sandwich together using that natural heat from my fingers. Now, I've added a lot of glow, so I do feel like I need to do a little bit of powdering, but I'm using a slightly glowy powder, so I'm not going to take away all of that glowy work that I've spent time doing with this makeup, but it is going to set everything in place and it will take away a little bit of the shine, but it won't take away the overall glow. So I'm doing a really light layer all over with that e.l.f. powder, and then I'm going to add just a little bit of this ColourPop brow pencil to even out my brows. And then I'll also do a little bit of brow gel. This is the L'Oreal Brow Lamination Gel, and it really, really holds my brows in place. I am going to an outdoor event, I'm going to a baseball game, so I really need my brows to stay in place because not only will I have wind, but I'll also have sweat. So that gel really works well for me. Now, for my peachy lip color, I'm doing a lipstick and lip balm combo. So I'm using this ColourPop Lippy Sticks in the shade Topanga. This is an old school shade, and this is a little bit more pinky coral. So I'm adding some of the Fantasy Cosmetica Enchanted Autumn Pomander lip balm on top to give just a little bit of an orangey tint. I think that really balances out and creates the color that I'm looking for a coral lip today. And I just love lip balm. I especially, of course, I love the enchanted lip balms. I did curate them and create them with Fantasy Cosmetica. So I always have one of those on my person at all times. And you can bet I try pretty hard to work them into my looks. Now that I've primed my lids with the Ultimate Eye Primer, I'm starting off with the ColourPop Baby Got Peach palette. I am going to use quite a few shades from this palette, but I'm also going to be pairing them with a Cleona single shadow. This Cleona shadow is really what got it in my mind to do a coral look because I really wanted to use the shade Monarch, and the Baby Got Peach palette pairs perfectly with this really flashy orangey gold, like marigold duochrome color. Sometimes I love a really high contrast look, but I think it's no secret that I am a fan of a really matchy monochromatic look, hence why you see me match my nail polish to the palettes I'm reviewing so often. So today I decided to just go for it, go full monochromatic, and look at how gorgeous this Cleona shadow is. I have the smallest touch of this shadow on my fingertip. A little bit goes a long way. The Cleona shadows are just so beautiful. I do have a whole video where I swatched a bunch of them. I don't have every single one, but I did swatch my entire collection. So I'll link that down in the description box if you want to stare at some more shiny things, because I know that I don't mind staring at some more shiny things at any given time. So check out that swatch video if you want to see more of these gorgeous Cleona shadows. This one is definitely the star of the show for this look. I absolutely love how this turned out. I really like the matchiness, but it's not so matchy. The cheeks and the lips and the eyes are all in that peachy coral family, but it's not so matchy, like dead on matchy that it looks a little bit flat or boring. I think there's still some dynamic color play here. So I had a lot of fun making this peach look.
I'm really happy with this little peachy corally spring look. I feel like a little peach Bellini now with these glowy cheeks, shimmery lids. I definitely went out of my comfort zone with a bolder lip color than I usually do. My first inclination for this eye look would be to do really, really peachy cheeks and then a nude lip. So I'm glad that I went a little bit more toned down on the blush and a bolder, for me, bolder lip color. I realize this isn't like the craziest lip color ever. But for me, it's a little bit out of my comfort zone, and I think that it ended up looking really cute. I am ready for a fresh little spring day, even though I'm probably going to be sweating after being outside for 2 seconds. I hope that you had a fun, relaxing time getting ready with me, and I hope this inspires you to go pull out an older palette that you haven't touched in a while, maybe grab a couple of your single shadows that you haven't used in a while. I always think it's fun to just rediscover an old favorite that has been sitting on the shelf for a minute. I'd love to hear what you think about this look. What colors are you reaching for this season? Which palettes do you need to dig out of the back of the makeup drawer? I always love to hear what you think about things too, so make sure you leave all your thoughts down in the comments below. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye! What was I saying? Where was I? Totally lost my train of thought. Get this mane out of the way. Hey! I'm fighting the urge to add more blush. I do think it's going to be too much if I have super shimmery eyeshadow and this bright coral lip and a lot of blush. Might be too much. Might not be too much. I don't know. It looks good. I'm just going to take a step back. Okay, if you don't have the Baby Got Peach palette, then go dig out one of your Too Faced palettes or the Gourmand Girls one or maybe one of the ColourPop Mega palettes. Do you have the Smokin' Hot palette? You could do this look with Smokin' Hot palette, I bet. Just saying. All right. I need a little caffeine boost and a little snack, and then I need to do a lot of editing. Whew. Okay. I'm gonna go get a video edited, and then I'm going to a baseball game. And I am gonna be a peach queen. I do love this look. Okay, that's it. See you later. Thanks for hanging out. I hope you have a lovely, peaceful day. That's what I hope for you. Sometimes it doesn't have to be all excitement all the time. Sometimes you just need a little peaceful day. I hope you get that, because I love your face. Bye!